Nerd Reactor, roll out.
Isaiah, Yassir, how's it going?
Pretty
Big
good,
John.
man.
How's it going?
Yeah.
Big John. Big John.
Yeah, yeah. You can call me Lil John, so
Never, never.
Yeah.
I'd never do that to you.
I don't
okay,
want to
so
get sued by the real little John.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. We don't want that. We don't want that. So the gutter, bowling, the premise of this down on his luck guy just suddenly becoming pro and why bowling? Like out of all the games out there, like this is the game we got to do for this movie.
I think that sorry, I'll start and then I'll let Zaya continue. But we just used to bowl a lot, honestly, and it's just it's one of those things where people ask you the question, like, is bowling even a real sport? And you're like, well, if that's a question you can ask, then it inherently makes it funny. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So there's that. And honestly, because of that, it is a sport that, I mean, Big John, like you could truly, if you bowled for 3 weeks and like really train, you could technically just be a pro. You know what I mean? And so like in a world where like we have so many fish out of water stories, it's just like, oh, here's one where it's a fish out of water, but it actually can happen. Now, granted, it is a heightened version of that, but like it
Right.
happens. I mean, there's just like if you look up like the top 10 pro bowlers right now, you'd be like, wow, all of those people look like a terrible neighbor. None of them look like none of them look like a
The
LeBron.
typical athlete.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
bowling too is just like it's so low stakes on the outside looking in, but on the inside it's very high stakes to these people. So I think there's a part of that, the grandness in the small, that makes it also very funny.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I get the outside looking in, like, oh, it's just these guys just throwing a ball in an alley. And so like right now I'm seeing like the just the popularity of pickleball, right? So I was wondering if you guys have like ideas on that. Like if we were to do a sequel, maybe that.
To be honest, so Ben Stiller is actually making a pickleball movie right now. I found out.
Oh
I
yeah.
wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah, Sean Clements is writing it, right? Yeah.
is
Um,
he? Good for him.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Good for him.
But the thing that we've talked about is that like for some reason if we were going to do a gutter sequel and we couldn't do bowling, what we would do is we would only change the names. We would still have Shameik, we would still have Darcy, and we would do the exact same movie, but it would be cornhole. That's our grand because it's still the same arm movements. It's all the same thing. We would do the exact same movie about a guy who starts shredding the world of cornhole.
So yeah, with Shamik is in this, Darcy's in this. So what was that like? What was the inception and the idea of like just bringing them on board? Was it always the plan, and or was it like through auditioning?
Well, there weren't any auditions. Everybody we talked to were pretty accomplished actors, and we it was just more like talking to them and seeing if they fit the role. Darcy, we talked to a few other people, and uh, we were describing. We had a meeting with Darcy on Zoom, Yassir and I, and we were talking about like the character and like how we have this kind of like, though she is a bizarre character, there's a lonesomeness to her and a bizarreness to her, like Barry Egan in Punch Drunk Love. That's like the reference we made. And as we made that reference, she pulled up a picture, like a hand drawn picture of that she just had framed of Barry Egan from Punch Drunk Love. And we were just like, oh, she fully understands this character. Shameik, Yassir and I were just very big fans. We went out to dinner with him, talked to him about the role. He'd never really done a comedy like that before, and he's very eager to try to do like, his words that he wants to do like every genre of movie and like have like lead kind of every genre. And so we kind of roped him in during that. And in terms of like the two of them together, that was like a very special dynamic bond that I feel was very much built between the two of them, and like a trust they built in a partnership on set. And it just made for a very good team.
Oh yeah. And for me, like, with Shameik, like I loved him in the Spider-Man movies. And so watching him in this, I'm like, oh man, you guys are just letting him loose. And was like what was the excitement around that?
Well, to be honest, like he was kind of nervous when he showed up because to what Isaiah was saying is like he wants to do every genre movie, but comedy is it's a vulnerable art.
Hmm.
Whether you do stand up, whether you're an improviser, whether you're a comedic actor, like there's no, and I use this word too much sometimes, but you can't try to be cool and be funny. Like you are either being
Hmm.
funny or you are being cool, but they actually don't exist within the same Venn diagram. Like they're not, the circles aren't even in the same picture, for that Venn diagram. So you can have characters who are idiots who think they are being cool, but they are actually, to people on the outside, idiots. And I think that Shameik, when he first showed up, was just very worried about. He wasn't worried about being cool. He was just worried about being funny, but he didn't know what that looked like in terms of like what the other characters he's played. He's played Raekwon. He's played who Miles is funny, but Miles is an animated character. So it's just different. That body language is different because you're not the one doing it. And so, like, I think he was just a little timid at first, like, oh God, I'm on set with comedians who know their voice. Like, Darcy is a comedic powerhouse. She knows exactly
Hmm.
what to say and when to say. It's like her brain has the timer to be like, now's the time. And so, and Isaiah said this before, her performance led to him letting loose. Like we very much were like, buddy, just use your normal voice. Like you have this. We know you have it. But I think she really showed him that, taking off I'm using a Harrison Bergeron kind of like metaphor here, but like ripping the weights off of the performance and then just going for it. She more than anyone, I would say, even more than us, like gave him the path at least to see like, oh, okay, I understand what this is.
Oh yeah. And we were talking about the audition. You didn't have to audition anyone because it's like whoever it was that you wanted to bring into the movie, you're like, oh, these are the people. But wouldn't it be
Hmm.
fun to have Susan Sarandon audition? It's like, all right, let's see if you got the part because she's
Oh my God.
legendary.
Buddy, she auditioned us.
Yeah, literally. She asked us to lunch. Like, yeah. She auditioned us for sure.
What was that like?
I mean, it was nice. It was a little it was like a little surreal. Me and Yassir, like Yassir said before, like we have both worked with a lot of popular and famous and accomplished actors and actresses and writers and directors and things of that nature. And like sometimes it's just a job, and like you're like, I can't think about that this person is Drake. Like I just have to do my job. And Susan Sarandon, you still feel that because she has such a presence. You're like, oh man, this is a superstar I'm about to talk to, and I'm just a boy. I'm just a boy, you know. And but she's really personable, and you always know how she feels. She doesn't give you any fake energy. Like she doesn't give you like, oh hey, how are you doing? She's like not that kind of person, which I can speaking for myself, I very much appreciate. Like I just like a person like that. Um, she asked us a bunch of questions about the movie and about the role, and you could kind of see as the lunch was progressing that she was kind of like visualizing herself in the role. And by the end of it, she was just like, "All right, I'll do it," and it was kind of cool.
All right. Yeah. So that's it for me. I just want to say it's a pleasure chatting with you both,
Oh,
Isaiah,
thank you. It
Yasser.
was so quick.
Yeah. I know. But yeah, it's yeah, I enjoyed the movie a lot. So yeah, can't wait for
Thank
like
you,
everyone else to enjoy it.
Dude, thank you
thank you very
so
much.
much.